Hello everyone. Myself Saraswati T, Assistant Professor of IT in Vailtech Multitech, Dr. Rangarajan, Dr. Shakuntala Engineering College. Our today's session will be Advanced Analytical Theory and Methods involved in Big Data Analytics. In that, we'll be mainly dealing with various association rules in handling big data and the algorithms associated with it. So, to begin with, let's define a term called association rules. So, association rules are generally the rules which exist between two different data items in a database. Okay. So, technically speaking, this association rules can be expressed as a simple if-then statement. So, if statement defines an antecedent is nothing but a condition imposed, and then statement is nothing but a consequent of a condition imposed. Okay, consequent, or otherwise it is called as a result or the output of the condition imposed. Okay, so the main goal of the association rule is to find the relationship that exists between the different entities in a data item, and it is also used to discover a pattern is nothing but the occurrence of different arrangement of data in a data set. Okay, it's nothing but a pattern. Okay, so this is what the goal of the association rule. And next we are going to see about this the main terminologies that are used in association rule. So this association rule is sometimes referred to as a market basket analysis, where market basket analysis is mainly used for the better understanding of association rule. Okay, and here in this market basket analysis, each transaction is assumed as a shopping basket of a customer. Okay, so generally the customer will have will buy a different items. Okay, will buy different items. So the different items that are placed under a single transaction is nothing but an item set. Okay, so the item set refers to the collection of items or individual items which has a common relationship between them. Okay, so this market basket analysis model is a kind of many to many relationship between the items in a data set. Okay, so this market basket analysis will follow if then scenario, as I said earlier. So generally this association mining is a two-step process. Okay, so first step will be the generation of frequent item set, and second step will be generating a strong relationship or association between the frequent item set. So these are the two steps which are involved in association rule mining. Okay, and you have different terminologies involved in association rule. As I said earlier, item set is nothing but it's a collection of items. Okay, and you have a support count is nothing but the frequency of items, occurrence of items. Okay, so particular item, if it occurs more than one time, then it is called as an occurrence, frequent item. So which occurs more often is nothing but frequency of occurrence. So you can, for example, in a given example, you have milk, bread, diaper, which occurs in the second and third transaction. Okay, so the support count value is 2 here, and next terminology called support, which is the ratio of the support count by the number of transaction, total number of transaction. Okay, so here the frequency of occurrence of data item set, which is a support count value, is 2 here, maximum value is 2 here, and which is the ratio of the number of transaction, or total number of transaction is 5 here, so it is 2 by 5. Then you have a frequent item set, which is known as the item set which have often repeated items. The item set which contains often repeated items are called the frequent item set. So you have one condition here where it should have it should be greater than, or it should be equal to the minimum support threshold value. Minimum support threshold value is nothing but minimum support threshold value is nothing but the minimum load bound value, okay, for measuring the support, okay, between the association rule. So minimum occurrence of value is nothing but minimum support threshold value. So you have a terminology called evaluation, you have a terminology called candidate generation. Candidate generation is nothing but the frequent item set which are formed after applying the minimum support threshold value. It's nothing but the candidate generation. So for evaluating this candidate generation, you have three parameters. One is support, confidence, and lift. Okay, as I said earlier, support is nothing but the frequency of items by the total number of transactions. So here n represents the total number of transactions, and confidence is nothing but the likelihood. Likelihood is nothing but it's a kind of, if x occurs means it is y, which means that if x tends to y means if x occurs, then y is also y also occurs. Okay, it is a kind of likelihood between the two entities. Okay, so it is a kind it is generally a conditional probability. So for example, if I'm going to find the confidence of x tends to y means then the formula will be like support is nothing but the frequency. Okay, the support of x and y divided by support of x. Similarly, if I'm going to find the confidence of y tends to x means then the formula will be like support of y comma x divided by support of y. Okay, and lift is nothing but it is a ratio of the obtained confidence to the expected confidence level. Okay, so in generally in mathematical terms it is expressed as support of x comma y divided by support of x into support of y. So these are x and y are independent variables or independent entities. Okay, so you have this, and here in association rule you have two types of algorithm for finding the frequent item set. First one is a priori algorithm, next is FP Croth algorithm. Here in this chapter we are going to discuss about the a priori algorithm. Okay, so this a priori algorithm is a fundamental algorithm for generating the frequent item pattern rules. Okay, and here you have two steps. One is joining and pruning step. Okay, you have two steps in a priori algorithm. One is joining and pruning step, where in joining step and pruning step you have the generation of candidate rule or candidate key. Here in this joining step and pruning step, first a table will be created using a frequency of support value, which is a support count value. Then you will have to apply the minimum support value. So it has to what is the use of this now? You are going to eradicate or you are going to delete the minimum values which are lesser than the minimum support threshold value. Okay, so that you cannot which helps in maintaining the complexity of the algorithm. Okay, so the most infrequent items can be deleted or it cannot be ignored. Okay, so this process will be continued iteratively, and so that the frequent item set can be achieved. Okay, I'll explain with an example here. So you have example here, you have 4 transactions and each transaction have an item set. Okay, so in the first level I'm going to find the C1 represents a candidate key and this L1 represents a frequent item set which is got. Okay, and you have this ABC is a kind of item here, item set. In the first step I'm going to find a C1, where in first one I'm going to find the support value. For each item I'm going to find the support value. For A it is the number of occurrence is 3, so 3, B 2. Similarly I'm going to find the other item sets also. Then for generating a frequent item set I'm going to apply the minimum support value, using which I'm going to delete or I'm going to remove the item set which are which have lesser support value. So applying which I'm going to have a value called ABC. Okay, which has a value minimum support value or it is greater than that. Okay, then again I'm going to find a frequent item set where it will be a combination of the obtained value. Okay, for example, A comma B, A comma C, B comma A and B comma C, which means that in A comma B I'm going to find the occurrence of A comma B in the given item set which is A comma B occurs one time in the transaction 1, and A comma C it occurs 2 times in transaction 1 and transaction 2. Similarly, B comma C it is 1. Okay. Again, I'm going to apply a minimum support count value, which means that I'm going to apply it has 2, so the value is 2 here. So here I'm going to after which I cannot make more frequent item because I've reached the maximum level. Okay, so this is support value here, and I'm going to find the confidence here. So here in the given resultant value have A comma C, which means that the association rule is either A tends to C or C tends to A. Okay, here the support value, the final support value is 2 here. I'm going to find the confidence value. If A tends to C, now the confidence value, the formula is support of A comma C divided by support of A, which means that what is the support value here of A comma C? It is 2 here. Whereas what is the support value of 3 or support value of A? It is 3 here. So I'm going to apply the value to 0.66. By converting into percentage, it will be 66%. Similarly, for C comma A, the support value is 2, then the formula will be support of C comma A divided by support of C. Here the support value of C is 2 here, so 2 by 2 it is 100. Okay, it is 1. While converting into percentage, it will be 100 value. So by this way, I'm going to find the minimum support value, support value, and I'm going to find the confidence of a given frequent item set. Okay, and the application of association rule, this association rules can be used in as I said earlier, in the market basket analysis for finding the retailer thing. Like I'm going to find the most sought items by the customer, and it will be used in medical diagnosis for the curing purpose, for the diagnosis and curing of diseases, where if I'm going to analyze symptoms accordingly, I'm going to predict whether what kind of illness it will be. Okay, so that will be there, and it has been used in retail marketing, as I said here. For target marketing also it is being used. Okay, so this is all about association rules and a priori algorithm. Thank you for listening. Thank you.